Law Talk with Nick Maruchak. Thanks to MKI Legal, your trusted employment and family lawyers.
I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won.
G'day, Nick.
G'day, Bowie. How you doing?
Yeah, good to see you. Now, let me check in with you. I don't know much about your personal life, but I hope this isn't too invasive. When the grand final's on Saturday, will you be off with your little bloke off at Araluen or Kings Park? Are you interested? Do you care? Is it a day of days for you?
Oh, that's a very
Not being from
question.
not being from Australia originally, your family?
Well, I used to love football when I was a child. I used to barrack for the West Coast Eagles and play, but I actually have turned into one of those people that don't follow any sports,
Really?
right? So
Okay.
I just don't. And
Okay, it's probably easier.
I don't actually
Probably less
know
stress.
what stage the footy's at.
Okay, all right.
I don't even know who's in the finals,
All
right?
right.
So,
Okay. You're
up
lapsed.
to the final. I am so bad at this.
You're a
And
lapsed footy fan.
And I'm so embarrassed to say this on 6PR. Like, I feel like so many people will be jujudging me, but...
Yeah, well, one of our phrases is 6PR is football. And I guess we're not for the next half an hour. Number three.
Well, I don't know anything about it.
No, that's all right. No, we're not each their own. G'day, John.
Hello.
Hi, mate. Fire away.
We've been renting the house for 14 years, and the last 18 months we've had sewage problems where it's backing up and coming up the drains. Our landlord got us to siphon it out. He dug a hole down the back, and for me to siphon it out each time it got full and run into this hole. And he wanted to put the rent up to $7.20 a week, and we said no, we're not paying it until we get a proper septic done, because we got a newborn baby and we've just got this constant stench of sewage. And we just want to know where we stand, because he's now given us a 60-day notice of breach because we won't pay the increase in the rent.
So, Johnny,
And we give him a...
are you dealing with a property manager at an agency or dealing direct with the landlord?
No, private
All right.
landlord.
Thank you. Nick, what do you reckon?
So the landlord does have an obligation under the Residential Tenancies Act to maintain the premises in a reasonable state of repair. So it sounds like this sewage problem, it doesn't sound reasonable. It sounds like it's
Unreasonable.
Yes.
Mm.
So if you've already complained to the landlord about it, so the step you can take is you can they have to repair it, right? So you can go to the Magistrate's Court of Western Australia and make an application for it to be repaired. But what happened here is, do you think the landlord has taken action to evict you because you've complained?
Yeah, he's done that because we complained. He kept telling us we were using too much water, just don't have showers. And then we found out that the septic wasn't built properly in the start. He did it himself and it's all collapsed, and now they're trying to put a new one in. But they've done so much and it's come to a halt for the last month. And he keeps telling me it's labour and everything going wrong. But we're still living with a big pond of water, sewage water out the back. And, you know, the mozzies, and now it's starting to warm up, the stench.
So we've established it's unreasonable and unpleasant. What can John do if he's dealing privately with a landlord?
So if you think the landlord took action against him because he complained, there's actually protections against making these type of complaints under the Residential Tenancies Act, right? So the landlord can't retaliate against you because you made these complaints and because you requested that they honour their obligations under the Act to provide the premises in a reasonable state of repair. So if there's a connection here between this eviction and the complaint and the landlord's inability to maintain the property properly, then John will probably have the right to go to the Magistrate's Court and actually try and set aside this eviction, right, if there's a link. And because if you complain about it to your landlord and the landlord goes, nope, I don't like complaints, I'm getting rid of you, that breaches the Residential Tenancy Act. And I think that's what's happened here.
Sounds like it. Is there any intermediate step rather than go to court? Can John have a whinge to somebody else?
Well, because the thing is, John's got this 60-day notice to evict,
Okay,
right?
yep,
So
yep.
he's got to, what the landlord's going to do is if you don't leave within 60 days, then, you know, they're going to give you an eviction. Then they're going to go take you to court to force you to leave, right? So it's going to end up in court anyway, because the landlord can't just walk in there and with strong arm John out of there. So you can try and negotiate with the landlord. You can try and write to them and say, look, I believe you've taken this eviction step against me because I've complained and it's because of retaliation and it's illegal under the Residential Tenancies Act. And I would like you maybe to withdraw this notice of eviction. And if they withdraw it, then it's fine. But if they don't withdraw it and you can't negotiate your way out of it, then you have to go to the magistrate's court and you have to argue your case to try and convince a judge to set that notice aside so you can stay there a bit longer.
So John needs some legal advice there then, doesn't he?
Yeah, so you can, there is good organisations, John, and I can actually, send you an email with a little bit more information about some of the sections in the Residential Tenancies Act. I can also probably give you a quick template maybe to send to your landlord, so I can get in touch with you after. But Circle Green is an organisation, or Green Circle Community Centre.
Green Circle?
Yep, Green Circle Community Legal Centre. They do tenancy. They provide assistance with tenancies, with tenants, so that's one of their big areas. So that might be also a place to try and contact them and get some assistance. So if you leave your email or phone number.
Yeah, John, how does that sit with you, John?
Yeah, because he did tell us, he said, if you want to play dirty, I'll play dirty. And next minute he come down with this 60 days, because I'm not at home at the moment, I'm up the coast. And the wife rang up pretty upset.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all right.
we've never been behind in rent in our life.
Yeah, John. John, that's no good. I think you're on the side of the good guys.
Yep.
I'll put you back to Kira and to Sophie. We'll get your details, and our man Nick Maruchak will send you an email and make some suggestions to you. Thanks, John. Cheers, mate. 133-882. We'll come back in just a moment. More of Nick Maruchak after these. We have had a result in Uber have deactivated a driver, and Nick will bring us up to date and tell us all about that. 133-882. Ring in if you'd like to have a chat to Nick. I would certainly suggest you call in rather than SMS or email, because then Nick can ask you a few questions and interrogate the issue. Back in a sec. It is 14 and a half minutes to 11. Nick Maruchak is our lawyer, resident lawyer here on the program. He's got the phone ringings today. Fire away, Ben. Good morning.
Yeah, hi guys. I'm moving out of a rental property that I've been in for about 8 years, and the property manager sent through a blank property condition report with no signatures or photos. I just want to know my rights in regard to that.
So, yep. So when you first start, they have 7 days to provide you with a report, right? So did you get a property condition report at the start of your tenancy?
No, none.
Okay. So there's also an obligation under the Residential Tenancies Act where after the tenancy ends, there's about 14 days after it ends, they have to inspect the property and provide you with a report, right? So they sent you a blank report, which is probably an accident because they shouldn't have done that. They have to give you a final property condition report within about 14 days after the tenancy ends, right? So first step is you just go, no, you have to provide me a report, a proper report. You've just given me something blank. The other thing is, have they actually tried to get money from you?
No, not yet.
Okay. So I would just ask them to give you a proper report, and or if they're not chasing you for any money, then maybe just do nothing. And if they do come after you, then you can raise that issue. But basically, if they come after you for money and you dispute that or they're trying to withhold the deposit and you dispute it, you can go to the Magistrate's Court of Western Australia to have an argument about that. You can also make a complaint to the Consumer Protection, because technically not giving you a report within 14 days is a breach of the Residential Tenancies Act. So, maximum $5,000 fine. So you can also do that as well. So, you're entitled to it, and they haven't complied, and it's probably an accident or someone just made a mistake. Does that help, Ben?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
All right. Thanks, Ben. Cheers, mate. Thanks for listening in. Thanks for calling in. G'day, Jean.
Hello.
Hi, Jean.
I've got a problem with the water from rainwater coming into my property and flooding. I've seen the owner of the place. I spoke to him, and he reckons it's not coming from his place. But when we had those big floods, I had rain water in my backyard up to my ankles. I know it was very, it was, quite a lot of water falling at that time. But there's water now when it rains. It's ingressing into the brick walls of my house, and he won't have anything done about that water coming over my side.
Right, let's see
what can I do?
Yeah, let's see what Nick says.
So, so Jean, is the rainwater coming from from the neighbour's side of the property onto your property? So is it just flowing from the roof and coming into your land?
Yes, because their house is higher than mine, their land is higher than mine, and it's even coming from he's put fake lawn on his paving bricks out the back, and that's not, it's flooding out there for that reason.
All right. So the key distinction here is, so this is the thing. There's this law called nuisance, right? So you have the right to enjoy your land without someone unreasonably interfering with your enjoyment of the property, right? This is a claim that you can take to the magistrate's court. So the key thing that I would consider here is whether this flow of water is natural flow of water, or whether there has been an artificial interference with the natural flow of water. So if there's been some sort of, if there's been some sort of artificial interference that's causing the water to go from their property to yours, and it's not simply just natural flow.
Sounds like it's good.
So if that happened, that potentially will qualify, and that would amount to unreasonable, right? Mm-hmm. So if it's just, so that's the key distinction here. Did they do something with this water flowing in that's unreasonable? That's what I'll be looking at. So it sounds like it potentially is. I'd also make just a quick note that the WA government has the Stormwater Management Manual for Western Australia, which provides some technical details about managing runoff in urban environments. Have a look at that. But your first step is write to them, say, this is a nuisance, remove the nuisance, otherwise I'm going to go to the magistrate's court and I'm going to sue you and get damages. So that's what you can do.
Chuck something together. And just on that, Nick, you can email someone. That's regarded as writing, isn't it?
That's right. Yes, you can definitely email something. And the purpose is just to kind of try and resolve the claim before you go to court, because the court really wants you to try and do your best without clogging up the courts. But you write to them, email them, put in a letterbox, all that counts.
Is that okay, Jean?
Yes, it's a start. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Jean. Nice to hear from you. Good luck with that. That sounds pretty everyday and commonplace. I wonder if anyone else is having that issue. G'day, Eddie.
Hi, Nick. I have a question for you. I am a member of a sporting club that plays weekly, and we had elected a treasurer in the beginning of the year. So we do elections every year. And unfortunately, the treasurer has actually spent the money, and we filed a small claims about 2 weeks ago to the Magistrate court. Now we don't have her address, so we addressed it to get care of the sporting club, which she regularly plays on Thursday. Unfortunately, she doesn't attend the Thursday games anymore, and my feeling is gone quiet because they don't know where to contact her. So all we have is a phone number. For several weeks, she's promised to pay us back, but now we're in the middle of doing the breakup game of the breakup party and all that. So the club doesn't have any money. So what is our recourse?
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about that, Eddie. So you do have options basically. So that we want to first try and attempt to find the address, because you have to serve her personally, which means when this court claim usually has to be given to her in person. So the first thing you can do is you can go to the Western Australian or the Federal Electoral Office. You walk in person, and you can actually inspect the electoral roll and find her name and see if you can find an address for her. Now, that's something you may have tried, or you can give that a go. Then if you've taken that step and other steps to try and find her current address and you're unsuccessful, then what you have to do is you have to make an application for substituted service in the Magistrate's court. So I'll just repeat that. It's called substituted service, where you put together an affidavit and you say all the steps you've taken to try and find her, and then you file that with the court, and then the court will allow you to serve her in a different way. This can be done by email, or this can be done by telephone or a Facebook. They'll permit you to do it in another way. There's also something in the Magistrate's court as well, which I can look into further, which also says that personal service can be effected by leaving the document with someone over 16 years of age at their current or former residential address. So there's some tips that I can give you. If you like, I can maybe send you a more extensive email.
Yeah,
Eddie,
Eddie,
setting this out.
we'll take that offline with this is not uncommon. This is the bad guys find a way to do this. Get into small clubs and leave them in rack and ruin. Keep going, Nick.
And look, and so I'll send Eddie some stuff, but there are people and organisations that can do tracing, right? So if you want to find someone, insurance companies use them. Like an example, someone in our buildings, AAC Process Servers, they do tracing where they can help find individuals. So that might be a step. If you don't have any luck with this, then you might want to use them. But I'm pretty sure this substitute service thing should work for you.
Eddie, I'll put you back to Kira and to Sophie and grab your details. And Nick, I do appreciate you following up with our listeners today on these issues and providing help and advice to them. Thank you, mate. I'll see you next week. So this Saturday afternoon, you get to go to Kings Park or Moore River or Dwelling Up or something with your son. And there'll be no one there.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll be watching the footy.
Yeah.
How good. Yeah.
Yeah, but when my son's older, he'll probably be into the footy, so then he'll force me to...
you've got an older one too?
Oh, no, when he's older.
Oh, when he's older.
I can tell he's already enjoying footy
he 4?
now. He's 5, but he's already talking about footy now, so I'm probably going to be forced to
get
watch
back on board. All right. Hey, mate, thank you for talking about this. See you next week.
Bye.
Nick Maruchak from MKI Legal. We'll take a break. We're running a poll. Should candidates in local government elections be screened or better screened? The yes are 40, the no's are 18. Mick Collis next.